In this introduction to the Viisan S21 A2 document scanner and its related OfficeCam software, I'll discuss the problem we were trying to solve, why I decided on this model of document scanner, and how I set up both the physical and software environments to make the scanning we had to do as efficient as possible. I'll also discuss some basics of using the scanner and the software. Other videos in this series deal with specific techniques we used, as well as troubleshooting videos on how to fix problems with images that don't appear to scan correctly. As to why I made this set of videos, well, it was apparent in the first few days of scanning that the documentation that came with the software was either inadequate or just not available. All the videos I found on YouTube at the time, late 2025, seemed to be promotional and didn't show you how to use the software, especially for newspapers. This set of videos aims to close that knowledge gap. At some point, we will be downsizing and moving house. In our shed is a collection of specialist newspapers and magazines that my husband has been amassing for the past 40 years and using for his research. They are all stored in boxes, by year, but there are no indexes to the contents, so they aren't searchable. Our research indicated that one particular title, which makes up the bulk of the collection, hasn't been digitized by any library, and, if it has, it's not stored in any public database. Tossing them out wasn't an option as they are needed for his research. We decided to scan them as searchable PDFs to store the information in a much more accessible format. Most of the issues we had with this collection were due to their physical characteristics. The A2 size of almost the entire collection really limited the scanning options. Most scanners for the personal market are either for A4 or A3 pages, and/or are flatbed scanners. I spent more than a month online researching scanning options and eliminated almost every one except for overhead document scanners. I've summarized my research conclusions in the table. Just as an aside, the cost for commercial scanning in my city, based on my estimate of how many pages we had, ranged from more than $100,000 to over $1 million. In many ways, the decision was made for me, as Viisan was the only A2 overhead document scanner I could find that cost less than $1,000, as at late 2025. However, while they said they could scan newspapers, none of the videos or other information I could find at the time actually showed this in practice, or showed what settings were optimal for newspapers. So I bought the scanner from Amazon, knowing that if it wasn't fit for purpose, I could return it within 30 days for a refund. I need to add that the promotional information for this scanner said it worked with Windows versions with 8 GB of RAM back to Windows 7. I first tested it on an old Windows 7 PC I had, but it didn't work at all. Then, on a Windows 10 laptop, which didn't work either. Both had 8 GB of RAM. It only worked for me on my Windows 11 laptop, which has 16 GB of RAM. Since I started making these videos, I've found out that Viisan has a new A2 product on the market, the S48 Duo, which has extra features not found in the S21.